the weapon and the fitness and things like that, even the gear in some regard, is kind of worthless if you can't go outside and figure out how to move around efficiently, feed yourself, care for yourself, dry your clothes, light your stove, set up your tent, manage your blisters, the whole thing, right? You'll never get to the point where you can pull the trigger or the release on an animal if you don't know how to just live outside. So backpacking is kind of become a little bit of a a lost sport or art. And so what I tell people is hunting season is so short, but the rest of the year outside of hunting season, you have all this time to go and learn and train and explore and test and all these things. And that really is what to me makes like the whole season like this very rich experience. Matter of fact, I like to say there is no off season. There's just different times of the year when I'm doing something. So um, I would say that you need to start learning how to do all the things that sometimes people take for granted, even somebody who's starting and doesn't know any better. Setting up your tent, anchoring it, where to put your campsite, how to navigate either with a digital map or a map and compass, which I don't think is too old a skill to learn. Once you start assembling the gear, what are you trying to figure out with that gear? Does it work for you, or are you just buying it because John says it works and it's the best? But do you actually understand how that all integrates? And so I think if you understand how to live comfortably outside, and like you're okay with the dark and you're okay, hiking back to camp with a map and compass in the fog, like it's just going to make the opportunities you have that much more effective on animals when you do get those opportunities, because as you and I know, sometimes they're really hard to get. And the longer you can live out there and just kind of like feel good about that process, the more chance you have of finding those opportunities to get success.
Do you think why do we focus so much on our weapon or our clothing, or sort of those more, I don't know, are they more sexy than talking
I
about
think
how to light a
so.
fire and what food we're going to eat? Because it does seem like if you just thumb through Instagram right now, right, and you see what people are talking about, they're talking about their bow, they're talking about their workout, they're talking about maybe what state they put in for, right?
Hmm.
There's not a lot that are talking about how they're prepping their survival gear or skills.
Yeah, I think so. Yes, I think it's because it's fun, it's sexy.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you have that instant gratification. Hey, let's go shoot a tack, or
Mm-hmm.
let's shoot in the backyard, or let's go to the range, or let's go to the gym. I think it's a huge mistake though if people don't focus on those other things. I call it the care and feeding of the hunter. So that's what I call it.
Mm.
And it's something that I taught for a very long time. But if you can't go out there and live, we'll call it self-supported, so out of a backpack, for 3, 5, 7 days, all those other skill sets, the the physical fitness and the shooting, the calling, whatever, is going to be worthless. The best gear in the world isn't necessarily going to help you if you don't understand it, right? Or the
Mm.
best boots aren't going to work if you don't know how to take care of a hot spot. Or you could have dehydrated food that everybody promotes, but if you don't understand the calories and how your body assimilates that food to kind of stay on the mountain, then it's all kind of wasted. And so it's like, where do you go and learn all about that? Like, who who talks about that? Who teaches that?
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a little more difficult because unless you've gone to like a Knowles course, or something like that, maybe you had a great Boy Scout, uh I don't know what they're called, troop chief or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
or a mentor, a dad or a granddad. Like, I don't know where you learn that stuff. And so we tend to focus on, it's just like when we go in the gym, right? I always tend to focus on the things that I'm good at, and I
Yep.
and I kind of like dismiss my weakness. And it's like I'll go out with people, and They don't know where to set a camp. They don't know where to find a glassing knob. They don't actually know
Mhm.
how to read a contour line on a map. Um, they don't really know either where to find a water source, or when they do find their water source, like, oh, you mean you actually have to purify it or filter it, or I'm going to get sick? Like things that people like you and I may take for granted, but um, all those other sexy things aren't going to matter if you can't just go and live outdoors and be comfortable